You want to do a podcast about films?
You're not stopping me.
No, with me, you fool.
Oh, well then why didn't I say that?
You did. You are.
Well, I can't say films, I need to say movies. It's a more broadly recognised term.
Yeah, don't worry about that now. Am I interested?
Well, we can't just talk about films we don't like. That would be boring.
Okay, what about films we like?
That sounds even more boring.
How about this? Films we disagree on.
All right, intriguing. So what? One of us dislikes the film, the other one doesn't, and we discuss our opinions?
You think I'm in movie?
Yeah, don't worry about that now.
But yeah, that's the gist of it.
Okay, you're in.
Great.
Could still be boring, though.
I'm boring.
Well, you don't see how that's relevant.
Should we do one now?
Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle, a podcast where two complete amateurs haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. My name's Simon and I'm in our shed with my good friend Carl, where we'll be explaining our opposing viewpoints and seeing whether we can movie the needle for one another. This week, we're discussing Gore Verbinski's 2001 offbeat romantic crime comedy, which follows Brad Pitt as a small-time bagman tasked with retrieving an antique cursed pistol from Mexico, whilst his girlfriend Julia Roberts is kidnapped. Charismatic dogs and hitmen ensue. It's the MexiCANT.
Are you familiar with the word gyat?
No. I saw you send this through as we keep our little notes, and I was like, what the fuck's he on about now? Which, to be fair, a lot of those notes are pretty much
what you're
same.
talking about there. Yeah. So you would know what I meant if I said that. No. This is not a conversation you've had with your boy.
No. Why, is this a modern thing?
Yeah, it's a modern slang thing that all the kids are going around
Gyat.
saying to each other.
All right.
I mean, I don't know how widespread this, but I know our kids are going around saying it to each other because...
It's like an insult?
Well, thing is, it's one of those things, it's being used, but my eldest was like, Dad, what does gyat mean? I was like, I think I've seen this a bit on social media, so I Googled it, Urban Dictionary, and basically it's like an exclamation. It can be used as many things, but usually in reaction to seeing an ample behind.
Nice.
So basically, all the 9 to 10-year-olds are running around.
Baby got back.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, So yeah, I don't know if you feel like throwing it out. If there's a really cool bit of the film, you'd just be like, gyat. I think that's how you use it.
Someone's behaving like a big ass.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's right.
No,
I don't think that's right. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more just a reaction rather than a description of
Yeah, I think
something.
basically one of the girls walks by and the lads turn to each other and just go, gyat. I think that's...
I mean, the English language is a mysterious creature at the best of times, but where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I had a household of the little bastards this weekend. Because...
Party.
Yeah, party for the eldest.
Yeah.
And when one of the young gentlemen had to leave, because he had to go early.
Yep.
He had his cup of Coke, which they're all very excited about getting Coca-Cola.
Full fat.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Nice.
And as he was leaving, he got the attention of the rest of them and just, hey, do you dare me to down it?
Nice.
To which he did, right? And then they're all there in unison.
Chug.
Where
have they seen that?
I've no idea. But his mum was just looking at us going, oh, God, this is my future. It'll be here soon.
Did he put it on his head after?
Did you dare me to down it? It was only one of them little fun-sized cans as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. You've just said a peek into the future there.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. So Emma and the boy have started watching a new TV series. I say a new TV series. It's an old TV series.
Oh, yeah.
Merlin, BBC thing.
Right.
Don't know if you're familiar.
No,
it's about wizards and shit in it. You won't like it.
Yeah, no, the missus is well into that stuff.
But in that is the guy who plays Victor Meldrew, Richard Wilson.
Oh, yes.
Familiar with him?
Yeah, I don't believe
Indeed.
it.
So how funny do you think it is that every time he comes on screen,
you go.
I go, I don't believe it.
I'd laugh, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon... I mean, they haven't found it funny yet, but I reckon if I do it a few more times...
Oh, yeah. Funny through repetition, yeah.
Yeah. And I had to then explain to Theo why I was saying it, because obviously he doesn't know what in the
Double
groove.
whammy as well. You explain the joke, it gets funnier.
Oh,
they're the rules.
Exactly. So I showed him a Best of Victor Meldrew clip on YouTube, which is basically just him going, I don't believe it.
I bet he loved
lots
that.
of times. He did quite like it. And then also within that was the Father Ted episode where he's in it.
Is that the one where they're going for glasses?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway, so either I'll not make next week because I'll be killed because they would have had enough, or I would have broken them and they'll start laughing.
Imagine if that's the thing, that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Victor Meldrew.
What I realised is, as well, I was doing an impression of Father Ted doing an impression rather than actually of Victor Meldrew, because he basically just goes, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that.
Very meta.
Yeah, indeed.
Very good.
Did you see, Carl? Well, you did see, because I sent it to you. But we are influencers.
Ah, yes.
We have.
We're taking
we've cracked the world.
We're taking the credit for this one, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we talked about a while ago on the pod marathon bars. Over a number of episodes, in fact. For some reason, it kept coming up, didn't it?
Well, I kept getting it wrong.
Yeah, there is that.
We had to keep revisiting it.
Yeah, but then we kept on coming back to it with Snickers and all of that and stuff. And you know what's back? Marathon bars.
Yeah.
They're back. So
Exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty exciting.
Wasn't that caption as well? Like you've said it, we listen or something like that.
Yeah, so this is all this AI crap. It's paid off.
Yeah.
They just need to reference.
No
citers,
credit there,
please.
was there?
Exactly, I need the credit.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You had a couple of other notes that you sent me. I don't know if you were planning on touching on them now, or you want to.
You've already mentioned you're thirsty, so why don't we?
I am thirsty.
Unveil the ale, and I'll segue into a couple of them.
And while you're doing that, I'll explain, as I like to do, tease the game.
Oh yes,
that we've
the
got
game
coming. So there is a game because now I'm in too deep. I can't not do a game lest see the crushing disappointment on your little face.
Yeah, it'd be like Christmas if Father Christmas doesn't come.
Indeed. Yeah, which he does every year, kids. So you're all good. But still be good, Don't be a cunt. Just to be clear. Might not
if
come.
children listen to this?
I probably shouldn't say cunt if they do.
Well, that ship sailed, doesn't it?
Yeah, true. Theo's listened to it a little bit.
Is he?
Yeah. I just said, just ignore Carl's bad language.
Oh, yeah, it's just me.
Yeah.
Double C-bomb already, you.
Yeah. But the game,
That is
getting back
mostly
to the game, do you want to take a guess at what I've called the game?
MexiCAN or MexiCANT? That's what I
He's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Is that
First time,
Is that really
MexiCAN
it?
or MexiCAN.
Yeah, it's not even this film, but very good. Yeah.
How did you guess that?
Because these,
mean,
even though
apart
it's a
from being very
completely different
obvious.
film, is it out of Desperado? Or
I don't know.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico? Are you a Mexican or a
MexiCAN or
Mexican?
MexiCAN. Yeah.
Is it that? Anyway, I think of films that have this sort of vibe, and that line pops into my head. So.
Excellent. Well,
just as it must have obviously done for you.
Indeed. Yeah, I came up with the name first, then I had to come up with a premise for the game after the title, which I think is how all good game shows are done. Come up with the game, come up with the title, and then you go, shit, now I need a game to go with it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Anyway, reveal. Reveal. Got it right, wrong there. Unveil the ale.
Thank you. Obviously this is set in Mexico. There are a couple of beers in the film. Did you spot them?
I saw a Corona.
Yeah, they drink a Corona. Now, I did road test a couple of these as I was watching the film on Sunday night or whatever. Yeah, but research,
Yeah,
Corona,
Dedication.
not brewed in Mexico anymore. We don't get the
Never,
imported
not
one
even
anymore.
but I mean, it must still be.
Yeah, we don't get the imported one anymore. We've got the one that's brewed under licensing, bloody Tadcaster or whatever. Sol, which is not in the film, but I did get my hands on.
Right, yeah. Is that still brewed in?
We're not imported, so that's yeah.
Upsetting.
Modelo, which is in the film,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because that did not arrive on Morrison's delivery today.
Oh, bastards.
Which is nice. But the missus has saved the day, because she was in M&S.
Again, did she ask someone where Mexico was?
No, but she's got us a Pacifico Claro, which is brewed in Mexico. This has been imported all the way from Mexico.
Hey! Well done, M&S. And Carl's wife. Oh, it even says cerveza on the front. No, cerveza. No, wait. Is it Mexican? Do they do the...
Yeah, it's a hard C, yeah.
So cerveza.
Cerveza.
Cerveza. Good stuff.
Yeah.
4.5%.
Importada de
355
Mexico.
mils. Oh, you know it's imported when you get a 355 mil.
Oh, yeah.
Oof, don't get that at home. Yanking stuff. Good stuff. Straight from the bottle, this one, no?
Yeah, I think so. We don't need the glasses for this, do we?
Yeah, we'll just have that warming up on the side nicely.
Not bad.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. Have you,
so,
you watched any
Mexico.
movies?
No, hang on, Mexico.
Are we still going to talk about it? Go on.
Yeah,
please.
the Mexican.
Yep.
I've been emailing Will, friend of the pod.
Oh, good stuff. Someone should.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like Mexicans.
He doesn't like Mexicans.
No? He said they'd be better off sticking to being mariachi men. They should all be mariachi men.
Is this quoting?
Yeah, near
Paraphrasing.
enough. Near enough.
Yeah.
Yes, a bit of an off-colour remark. Maybe he's auditioning for a gig. I don't know.
Was there any context?
Oh, yeah, well, he was talking about the Martian episode and how he doesn't buy Pena as an astronaut.
Because he couldn't, because he's Mexican.
Yeah, and they
you.
should all stick to being mariachi men, etc.,
Yeah,
etc. So there you go.
Too busy sleeping during the middle of the day, aren't they, to train to be an astronaut, I imagine is what he said.
Yeah, well, probably. Yeah, I'll double check. It's probably in there.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, or maybe that's next. I don't know. And another thing about Mexicans.
And you can reach our lawyers at mtnpod.com.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other friend of the pod.
we have to have two, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he knows who he is. I've mentioned him a couple of times, and I've brought his ratings into question.
You have?
Yeah, and obviously that's gone out. He's listened to it, and he replied to me.
Oh.
And he said something which I think puts him in your crosshairs now.
Oh, okay.
Because this was in reference to the one where he shit his pants.
Yes.
He might not have gone in his pants. He might have, he might have made it to the toilet. We don't know. He can clarify that if he wants.
So anyway, he shot himself throughout the film.
Yeah, this was 88 minutes.
It's all right. Yeah.
And then, missed crucial swathes of it. Quite early on, he disappeared. And he said, "Oh, don't worry about that. I'd already made my mind up long before."
Oh, hello. Oh, did it already have 3 stars, did it?
Oh, I know he's going to like that.
Or had 3 stars to begin with, or only had them to keep the same, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. So,
Aye.
that boy's rating systems need work, I think we're collectively saying.
Indeed. Have you watched any movies this week?
Do you know what? I haven't. I've been really busy. And besides this one, I've not watched a single film. Which I'm quite upset about.
He has been busy because I am now surrounded by spiky foam to stop my horrible nasal voice echoing around the shed.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, there is that. I have watched 4 movies. Not 1, not 2, not 2, 3, 4.
I don't think you've checked any of these in, have you? Have you reviewed any of them?
Reviewed. I mean, reviewed.
Even rated them. Have you added them to Letterboxd?
Maybe. Definitely on IMDb. I get round to the Letterboxd.
Okay.
So anyway, the first one.
You can import your IMDb list to Letterboxd. You can, yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, you can import a CSV, and IMDb lets you export as well, doesn't it? So,
yeah, but it's a different rating scale. How can it figure it out?
I don't know.
I mean, times it by 2 or divided by 2, I imagine, Carl.
Yeah, the function's there.
I will look into that.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point.
Because I know you consolidated your watch lists.
I did.
So, if you wanted to...
Do I go full Letterboxd?
Go the whole hog, yeah.
You never go full Letterboxd, do you?
Well, it's out there if you want it.
Anyway, the first one, Where the Crawdads Sing. Familiar with it?
No. I'm going to say no, but...
A few years ago, it's based on a book. Haven't read the book. Got a book on my shelf. Had the book on my shelf for a number of years.
Is there a film that references the book?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like I've heard this. I haven't seen it, but I feel like I've heard a reference to this recently in something. Never mind. Any good?
Emma's choice. So it was, you decide. And she said, I want to watch that. I was like, okay, fine. Right.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was fine. It was
Who's in it?
Watchable enough. Who is in it? Oh, tell you who is in it. Do you remember No Country for Old Men?
Yes.
The sort of deputy sheriff guy.
Oh, yeah.
Him. He's got a weird name. Not weird name. It's like a...
I forget what his name is now. But
not Gilbert. Something like that. Garrett.
Yeah, it is
something
Garrett.
like that.
Wade Garrett, is it?
Yeah, something like that. I probably should have written some of this down when I was preparing, but hey ho. Him. Otherwise, no one really that you would recognise. Kind of an
How many
unknown-
killings?
Daisy Edgar, someone or other. Daisy Edgar, someone. How many killings?
Say League of Gentlemen, Joe.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Is that all you've watched?
No, I said 4.
You did.
So that's 1.
Yes, go on then.
So guess how many are left?
3.
Yes.
Yes.
So the second, Robot Dreams.
Right, never
Familiar?
heard of it. No.
Animation, no dialogue
Okay.
whatsoever, about a dog
All right.
who, in a animal based world, who's very lonely, doesn't have an animal partner.
So they make him a robot.
Keeps seeing, so he buys a robot.
Right. The dog buys a robot.
Becomes inseparable with said robot, and then no spoilers, but
But spoilers.
yeah, this is in like the synopsis of like the thing when you play the film.
Yeah. What you meant to say, spoiler alert, I think.
What did I say?
No spoilers. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
And then you shaped up to very much
Just say
deliberate
spoilers,
spoiler.
yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, there you go.
Has to leave the robot behind, and so it's all of this all set. So from the robot perspective and from the dog perspective, pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
move me quite as I was expecting. I've heard it was quite a moving film, but as
It's
in
no Wall-E.
dead inside. But yeah, well worth a watch. Theo gave it 3.5 out of 5. So that's,
Is he still really
Pretty
erratic
bad.
on his scale?
yeah, I mean 3.5 is basically the worst film we've ever seen.
Okay.
So
He's avoiding the need for 200 words minimum there.
indeed, well he knows the rules now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I watched documentary Blur to the end. So documentary about Blur and their reforming for their Wembley gig.
All right.
It's fine. And then Speak No Evil. Familiar with that one? James McAvoy?
Yes. Is that the follow-up to Split?
No. This is completely separate.
Oh, this is his new one, isn't it?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
Good. I quite enjoyed most of it. And then it got a bit silly.
I have to say, I think he's a very good actor, McAvoy.
Yeah. And he's not posh, so you like him already.
Well, I was
Believable,
actually...
isn't he?
Yeah. Well, it depends on which role, doesn't it? But Split, he's got like, about 7 personas to play there. And I remember watching that and thinking, oh, this guy's... I wouldn't have seen him in much before then.
You must have.
I hadn't seen like Last King of Scotland
Wanted?
and that sort of stuff.
Wanted and...
No, not seen it.
No?
So I really hadn't seen him in much, and then I watched that. I was like, "Oh, this guy can really act. He's really going through the gears here." So, yeah, very good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Well worth a watch. If not a bit silly at the end.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Yeah, nothing from me. I'm very sad about.
Well, you'll
that.
get on it. And then we've got a bit of a break now after after this. So plenty of film watching to be done, Carl.
Only other note I had down here was: have you seen the price of Lego recently?
I mean, I've seen the price of some very exotic Lego, like the Death Star or those sort of things, big structures, which are ridiculous. Why?
No, I've not really any idea why I wrote that down, to be honest.
Have you seen the price of
Well,
Lego?
yeah, I did a bit of shopping this weekend with my youngest. She was spending her birthday money,
I was going to say, spoiler alert for birthday present coming up. No.
and she's well into Lego.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. So we were going around town, and she set her heart on this Wicked set. Maybe that was the link to the pod.
Last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Because she goes, "Oh, what's this witch called?" I was like, "Ask Glinda." We don't like Glinda. But then the Wicked Witch in Wicked is called Elphaba or Elphaba.
Elphaba, yeah.
Was that in Wizard of Oz as well?
No.
I was going to say I didn't.
No. Well, maybe in the book, I suppose.
Right, yeah, because I didn't remember that.
It's a very much an alternate take on the story. Have you seen Wicked?
No.
Seen it in the theatre a couple of times. Good fun.
£67.
67. So what do you get for 67 quid?
It didn't look very big to me. I mean, she bought it. She goes, "Oh, how much is that one?" I'm like, 67. She says, "Oh, I've only got 55. I was like, "Well, you have got another 8 in your money box at home." If you want to.
How much does that leave?
What do you mean?
Oh, wait, no. You said 60.
She had 55.
Oh, right. I thought you said it was.
Yeah, so she's 8 short. No,
Yeah.
63. Sorry. No, you're right.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I'm the idiot. Yeah.
I was a bit like, shit, do I actually not know maths?
No. This is exactly how it would have gone if I'd have done that with her in the shop.
Yeah.
No, you mean this, Daddy? Oh, I do.
Yes.
63. Yeah. So does that make it reasonable? Don't know. So she, you have got another 8 quid. So she's, so I can get it. I was like, yeah, but you'll have to get that out of your money box when we get home.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to chase her down for it. she put me off.
Send the boys
Remember
around.
you owe me £8? And she said, oh yeah, I'll get it later. So, hang on a minute.
Kneecap gone.
And then when she brought it through, pleased as punch with herself. Oh, there's your £8, Daddy.
Yeah, it's 9 quid now, love.
Yeah, there was a £1 coin in there, a £2 coin, and then a few tens, a few 20s, mostly 5p's.
So once it gets the change, just keep it. It's not worth it.
I thought I was going to have to be able to give her a little lesson on legal tender, and knock it back.
You got to say it in Scottish accent as well, don't you? Whenever you say legal tender.
Yeah, I think you'll find, pal. That's legal tender. But are you familiar with the legal tender limits?
No.
Oh, well, see, that joke's predicated on a lie. I think you'll find that's legal tender. Actually, Scottish notes in England are not legal tender. And, no, the establishment is under no obligation to accept that. But that's not important right now. 5p's, as were the issue,
Right.
are only legal tender up to £5.
Oh, so if you try and...
Yeah, so if you bring in like £6 worth
£5.55.
of 5p's, you can be knocked back. Sadly, I got excited. I was like, right, come here.
lesson time.
Yeah, only £3.75.
Gather round,
5p's.
children. Oh.
So, yeah.
Daddy, why you look so disappointed?
Yeah, I know. So,
I could have taught you a right lesson
we'll
here.
have to save that little learning experience for another day.
Good stuff. Right, have we got any corrections or apologies around like that?
So my first correction should probably be to say that Will did not, in fact, say that Mexicans should stick to being mariachi men. And in fact did not express its taste to Mexicans. Therefore, we must assume he is ambivalent towards them.
Yes, that's the only other...
He did express a distaste, a professional distaste to one Mexican.
A professional distaste.
Well, I mean, it was regarding this Mexican's vocation, right? Michael Pena, the actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can't say that he dislikes Mexicans. We can only say that he is ambivalent to them. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't be our place to say that he likes them, would it?
Well, no. The absence of dislike is not like.
No, absolutely not. No. We imagine he would just give them the cold shoulder. I think that's okay to say.
Yeah. I mean, who are we to understand
I wouldn't want
this?
to go on record and misrepresent his views on Mexicans.
Indeed. But also, I mean, we're explaining a scale here that we know have knowingly got wrong.
Oh, and we'll get
well.
wrong again today because we refuse to change it.
Any more corrections?
Yeah, so I may have got this right on the Quantum of Solace episode that is, it's upcoming to us, but to everyone else
And
at this moment.
Bond
will already be out by the time you
general
listen to this.
chit-chat as well. So if you can't be asked to listen to 4 hours of Quantum of Solace, you can still listen to 3.5 hours of just general Bond chit-chat as well. So,
Oh, yeah. So I may have got this right in that, but on a different episode, maybe you remember which one, I said that Japanese Sean Connery was in Never Say Never Again, and although he was heavily made up in that movie, they had on that occasion resisted the temptation to change the shape of his eyes, which they, of course, did in You Only Live Twice.
There we go.
Correction.
Correction made from some time.
Yeah, what was the pod where I got that wrong?
It was a while ago.
Somebody flagged it up, though, didn't
Will
they?
did, yeah.
Yeah, fair play.
So, yeah. Will's getting a lot of shout-outs in this. He's going to love it.
Well, that's what you get for being the most active listener.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Remember that, kids. If you comment, you get mentions.
Yeah. Don't put them off.
All right, enough jibber-jabber. Let's get on to talking about the film. I say enough jibber-jabber. First, we need to remind you of the...
Quit your jibber jabber.
The
Wasn't
ratings.
that a Snickers advert?
wasn't
it?
Yeah. Quit your jibber-jabber, you
Or
ain't
marathon. Hey?
Yeah.
Hey?
Good old Mr. T.
Yeah.
I need to watch Rocky 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah?
Speaking of it, he's in Rocky 3, and he Mr. T.
Yeah. Clubber Lang.
Yeah. The worst one, though, isn't it? Rocky 3.
Well, no. 5.
Well, no, okay. Well,
5.
yeah. Sorry.
5, yeah. But of the first 4 that are good,
Yes.
it's the weakest of the first 4.
Okay. Anyway, reminder of our rating. So we either really like it. We like it. We're ambivalent. We don't like it. Or we really don't like it. So we are talking about the MexiCANT. Carl? Where are you on the scale?
I like this film.
Okay. So I'm going to be straight shooting here.
You've gone from don't like to ambivalent, haven't
Yes,
you?
very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to start with why that is to begin with. So I think I might have first watched this movie at the cinema when it first came out. Do you know how fucking old this film is?
2001.
Yeah. I thought it was like 10, 12 years ago, this movie. No, I watched this when I was 16.
We old.
Yeah, I know, right? So was a bit surprised. I didn't really have the only sort of resounding memory that I have of the movie is that I didn't really have any strong feelings. Sorry, just Carl, we realised that Carl's not turned on the cocktails and dreams side, so he just did some comical sneaking around quietly to turn it on right in my eye line. So apologies for that. Where was I? So the only memory that I have of this is that I was left a bit like, it's a bit shit, isn't it? But rewatching it, I didn't remember it much at all.
It gives me a problem, this, because this was going to be very much a rerun of these sorts of episodes where I say something's fun, you say it's shit, and then I turn on your character and say that you're dead inside.
Yeah.
And if you're taking that away from me, I don't know what I've got left.
I can still be there. Don't worry.
All right.
On rewatch, I think that my resounding thing was it's a little bit of a mess, kind of all over the place. I struggled to get over the not caring about the central relationship, even though they
No, you're still dead inside. We're fine. We're fine.
Even though
we
spend it apart. Yeah. And I think it might have been more effective if they hadn't got Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt in it, and it's just been a bit less starry. Anyway, that's where I'm there.
All right. Okay. So some interesting points which we can discuss in production and plot. But I think this is a fantastic looking film. Actually, sound as well. Production as a whole, I think I'm going to be fairly positive on. So I thought it was a nice experience in that regard. Quite impressive in places as well. I sort of applaud its originality, I think, because there's very much a sort of proper plot, and they don't really pull their punches in terms of some of the deaths and the violence and whatnot. There's some of that there. But at the same time, we're trying to weave in this, I want to say rom-com, because it's obviously not a traditional rom-com, but it's kind of like they've gone, we've got these two stars, they're right for a rom-com, let's do something a bit different with them. They've been looking for a project for a while together, Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts. And yeah, I kind of really like that about the film, that it is just a bit different. And I find it a pretty pleasant ride throughout, I have to say.
Good stuff.
Just getting the last word in there, aren't you?
Mate.
Which actually provides me with an opportunity, especially as you mentioned the cocktails and dreams side.
Oh, yeah.
I alert your attention to what's next to it. I teased you that I managed to find another piece of movie memorabilia to go up on the wall.
Oh, shit. Should I know what that is?
Oh, you should know what it is.
Sportsman's Paradise.
So maybe just read out...
Oh, 007 981 72 Louisiana 73.
Yeah. But what is it?
It's a number plate.
Yeah.
Or a license plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So license plate, Sportsman's Paradise, 0070-981-72 Louisiana 73. You don't know what it is. I'm just going to leave that there. We'll just throw that out there to see if anybody does know what it is. But it's a great piece of memorabilia. And when you realise what it is, you go, oh yeah, that is pretty cool.
Okay. I mean, am I familiar with it?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Has it got anything to do with 007?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, let's move on to the cast. And it's a return. Friend of the pod, Bradley Pitts.
Yeah, Bradley Pitts.
And he's here playing Jerry Welback.
Yeah.
And he's in full-on Brad Pitt idiot mode.
Yeah, full-on goofy idiot.
Well, yeah, I say maybe not full-on. He's not a full-on idiot. He's full on goofy. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of an idiot. He obviously does do a bit of figuring out later, but
yeah,
he's very much on that side of things.
He's got some competence to him.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Yeah, but he's very much in that mode.
Yeah.
What do you make of the Brad Pitt that mood generally?
I like him.
In other things. And
Burn After Reading. He's good in. He's good in that mode.
He's very that in that though, isn't he?
Yeah,
That's
he
full
is.
on, full on moron mode and that.
Osborne Cox. yeah. He's good.
What other movies is he also a bit of an idiot in?
Oh God, I don't know. I'll just pull up his filmography, but I think it serves his character quite well here, and I generally find him to be quite fun when he's sort of doing this. So yeah, good, liked it. Yeah,
he was fine. Sorry, I'm just going to apologise in advance. When I said I was ambivalent on this, I'm very ambivalent on this, in that I'm struggling to form opinions of anything today. So, go with it. I'm sure maybe some will form as we're going. What about Julia Roberts as Samantha, Sam?
Oh, she's lovely, isn't she, Julia Roberts?
I don't know, is she?
Yeah. She's so warm.
Is she?
Yeah. I appreciate her character is a little sort of high maintenance here and yappy.
Shrill.
But she's just got a lovely warmth about her. She's got a lovely smile, and then she's really bringing that to the fore in some of the tender moments that she has. With a couple of different characters in this film, actually, but obviously mainly the hitman, Leroy / Winston.
Yep. Spoilers.
So yeah, I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, she actually grew on me in this. I first wrote, "Do I not like?" Oh, actually, I actually wrote, I got it right. I said, "Do I dislike her?" Rather than
do I not like her? Yeah, but tell us how you feel. yeah. But I think she's got a ton of charisma. Really, I think she's one of those sort of screen presences that can proper grab a scene. You know.
Yeah, I was as we were preparing for our top three. And I kind of went, top three Julia Roberts? And thankfully you said, I think I might struggle with that.
Yeah, I don't like enough of the films where she's a lead in, I would say.
No,
or one of the main characters. But
yeah, it was basically Erin Brockovich, and then beyond that I was a bit lost.
Yeah, are we going Notting Hill?
Yeah.
But
yeah, she did grow on me. I think she was good I think she was better when she wasn't with Brad Pitt. She was more believable of that side of thing than in a relationship with Brad Pitt.
We can talk about that in the production.
Okay. Where do you want to go next?
Well, I've got James Gandolfini down next on mine.
Oh, yes.
Now, I'd be interested to know what you think about this first, because you haven't seen The Sopranos.
I've not seen The Sopranos, no. I mean, he absolutely steals the show for me in this.
Yeah.
I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I would like a whole film of Leroy, please. That was I was most happy in those scenes with him and Julia Roberts doing that side of things. And I could have done whenever it went away. I wanted more Gandolfini, more. So yeah, I thought it was great.
I find him really difficult to recast.
Yes.
Because I mean, I have got some names. No one's doing what he did there as good as him. No one. And the really interesting thing about this is, he plays it like he plays Tony Soprano.
Okay.
Some people maybe sort of don't appreciate just how deep that character of Tony is, and Gandolfini is bringing those same sensibilities and that same depth and that same sensitivity here as he does in The Sopranos. And I don't think he'd done a lot of movie acting with big roles before this. And I feel like they've looked at what he did in The Sopranos and they've gone, yeah, he's perfect for this hitman with a soul kind of vibe. And he's like you said, he's absolutely steals the show.
And speaking of it being a big role for him, he slimmed down a lot.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight for it.
And then had to put it right back on to film the next series of Sopranos. That must have been fun.
Well,
imagine
being told, like,
you do have to put on a lot of weight quite quickly.
Yeah.
Oh no, another burger. Oh
Yeah.
no, more chocolate.
There was a bit of thing about, because obviously he's homosexual, there's a bit of thing about people going, oh, imagine making sort of Tony Soprano gay. I read a few things of like going, he'd bring some of his Tony Soprano persona, but then they make him gay, and that's kind of a nice twist. It's like, that doesn't change who his character is. No. And all the same stuff that is there, like I say, he's a very, very sensitive character. That is there in Tony Soprano.
Not because he's gay.
It's just that he has to balance that with obviously being a mob boss in the same way that this guy has to balance that with being a hitman. Mm-hmm. Now, Sopranos, obviously the balance is skewed the other way. We see more of the mob boss than we do of the hitman in this, but really great performance. He's not with us anymore, which is a real shame, because it'd have been lovely to see where his career went.
Always one of those you forget, isn't it?
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons makes another appearance.
He's very fun.
He's always fun.
Very fun, J.K. Simmons in this. Proper motor mouth. He had loads of little things he just kept throwing out.
And he has hair.
Like as if they were... Well, was it his hair, do you think?
I don't know. Yeah.
Loads of things he just kept throwing out as if they were catchphrases. Like one of those guys where he just goes like... never fear, Teddy's here. And it's like, does he say that all the time, or does he just think that's his catchphrase or whatever? But yeah, what else did he have? You're my guy, and just doing my portion and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, he was really fun, really good, really fun in this.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's first name. I've just written down Balaban.
Oh yeah.
Is it Bob?
Yeah, I think it might be
just Bob Balaban.
Yeah, Bob Balaban. Yeah. Great name, by the way.
Yes.
Bob Balaban.
Who plays Neiman.
Yeah.
And I think he plays the nasty pencil pusher sort of villain very, very well. I like that.
Yeah, maybe it's fine.
And I can't not mention Gene Hackman as Margulies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very small role.
Yeah.
But I love Gene Hackman.
What do we think of these roles where it's essentially, a character who's alluded to off screen, never shown, and essentially it's all for the purpose of like, we've got a star.
I don't know if it's for the purpose of we've got a star. I think that's what they did with, we talked about in Bruges. I think that's what they did with Fiennes. Because I think they were deliberately playing off against type to go, oh, surprise, it's Ralph Fiennes. I don't think that's what they're doing here. I think this is more akin to the sort of, obviously, much less serious, but the Apocalypse Now approach, in that you've got a...
But they show pictures. It's
they
not,
do,
it's
they
not
do.
like a...
But the film is building up his sort of presence throughout. Yeah. So then what you need at the end is you need someone who... Because you could have given this role to anyone, it's small. Yeah. But you need someone who's instantly got that menace and that gravitas about them. So you go, oh, that's why they're all shit scared of him. You couldn't just put anyone in. Like you couldn't switch the roles. You couldn't switch Balaban and Neiman with Hackman and Margulies and have Margulies as the boss on the ground that we see all the time, but then the one in prison that they're all scared of that shows up at the end is this little bespectacled guy.
You could have that. You could have that.
I don't think you could.
You'd be like, oh shit, why are they all scared of him?
Yeah, why are they scared of him? What's he
going to do?
Yeah.
Keep watching him.
Yeah.
The only other character or actor I wanted to point out was the dog.
Yes, you mentioned this in your intro. Also the dog.
Amazing. I thought the dog was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And also read that it's a golden retriever that's had its fur badly trimmed and dyed to look like a mutt.
Wow. I would never have said that was a golden retriever.
I mean, also it could be bollocks.
Yes.
So, always say that with a pinch of salt, whatever I say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the dog was great little bit of personality, as they say in it. It's got personality. Definitely does.
It did have personality, to be fair. Yeah. I'll give you that. Very good.
Recasting, Carl.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I've got a few actually. Who do you want to start with?
We'll start with Julia Roberts.
Right. Samantha. My first one, Samantha Bullock.
Samantha Bullock?
No, hang on. Sandra Bullock. I've written down Sandra. I've written Samantha Bullock. - Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Samantha Bullock. Yeah.
Okay. Is that her sister?
Is she around? Can she do it? No, all right. Sandra Bullock then.
Oh, Sandra Bullock. I like that.
Yeah.
I might have actually preferred that to Julia Roberts, maybe.
Yeah, because you hate Julia Roberts.
A little bit.
We've established that, haven't we?
I think she's one of those, you know, where...
She's got the sass.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see a Bullock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick.
I mean, too young, but yeah.
Well,
should we say this?
Depends who we're putting in it. Yeah, well.
Well, no, she was younger than Scarlett Johansson, or the same age as Scarlett Johansson. Remember, and that was
right?
in 2003, and this is 2001.
Yeah, but it depends who my.
You're casting a 15-year-old again, aren't you?
I'm just looking down at my recasts for Jerry and seeing if any of them are young enough to be with Anna Kendrick. Well, maybe not. I don't know if this rules out my
Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh wait, no.
Third one actually. Well, he'd be all over it, wouldn't he? The dog. Alison Brie. How old is she? Alison Brie.
Alison Brie.
Come on, Alison Brie. You know Alison Brie.
I know, do I know Alison Brie?
You know Alison Brie. She's in Mad Men, but
has she been in movies?
Grown at me with your fucking gaps, Jesus.
Well, no, I know, but you know, it's a
movie she's done some movies. I don't think she's done anything massive, but that doesn't rule out that you haven't seen her in some things.
But casting less of a name.
Yeah.
There, Alison Brie, which would be the direction that I would go. Do I know her?
Do you know her? Again, she's got that sort of impetuous sort of energy that Samantha is bringing in this. But she's also capable of being sort of quite warm and all that sort of stuff.
The only thing I've seen in her with a face is Promising Young Woman. That she was a voice actor in a couple of things.
Okay. All right, well...
Have you seen Promising Young Woman, by the way?
No.
Oh, you should get that watched.
Sandra Bullock, then. I'll give you Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, give me Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Sandy, as all her friends call her.
Yeah. Or Samantha, as I call her.
Or Samantha, yeah. This is a random podcast, call her. Cool, so I've got two options for recasting, right? So I'm going to give you one option. I'm going to speak about the second option in plot.
Oh, okay.
For this, okay. So Julia Roberts, I obviously had...
Oh, Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I think
Does
genuinely.
You just mean you're going to go with Tom Cruise for Jerry?
No.
Because I thought about Emily Blunt, and then you go with the Emily Blunt Tom Cruise chemistry.
Yeah.
I can't see Tom Cruise as Jerry, though.
No, that is true. He does have.
He's played a couple of goofier roles, but none quite as thick.
He wouldn't get to run very much in this, would he?
Well.
No, but I thought Emily Blunt. I thought an Emily Blunt Brad Pitt thing.
Yeah.
And I thought actually she'd be far too young, but she's not actually that much younger than
Roberts.
Yeah, not really. Only a few years. It'd be believable.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about for Bradley Pitt?
Yeah. So for Jerry, I don't think this is my best one, but it's the one that first came to mind. Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. I do quite like Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
He
got to play something of a sort of idiot.
Yeah. Have I seen him in an idiot-y role that isn't Hangover?
Yeah, that was sort of what I was thinking. That sort of.
I don't know. That could be an interesting one. Let me ponder that one.
Yeah, the other one I've got, which I'm sort of not sure about. I mean, he could definitely do the idiot Patsy thing, who is at least smart enough to sort of figure it out and then basically come out on top. Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know how believable he is to sort of the relationship side of it.
Yeah, I'd struggle with that.
But the one I like most of all, I think, is Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick?
Oh.
Well, I don't know. For some reason, when you said Matthew Broderick, I automatically thought Matthew McConaughey.
No.
Very different.
Matthew Broderick's, he's got that quality of sort of stumbling his way through life, and he's well-meaning, but things just keep happening to him, and which is a lot of what Jerry's got going on in this. But he's also very tender, so, you know, could he give the right answer to the question, you know, two people who just can't get it together,
Yep.
When do you get to the point when you just say enough is enough? Never. Matthew Broderick would say never. I could see him saying that. Mark Wahlberg? No, less so. No,
true. So my one that I had for Brad Pitt was another Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Because he can do the kind of like things happening to him a bit kind of side of things.
Not bad,
He can definitely do the sensitive part as well. Would he be quite as convincing as in the bickering part of it? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That's not bad. I like Mark Ruffalo.
Gandolfini, you said you struggled with that
Well,
one. Did you manage
none
to get
of these
anyone?
are as good as what Gandolfini puts on screen. You're looking for like people who can play tough characters but have that much depth. It's really tough. Pedro Pascal came up a lot when I was sort of Googling for hints.
Oh, yeah.
He could do it. Is he going to be
Not
quite
back-
as
not back
believable
then
as a
either,
sort of
though.
like...
Not
Nah.
2001.
Yeah. Dave Bautista. I honestly can't say I've seen him in loads of stuff, but whenever I hear him speak, I think he's quite a thoughtful individual. I can see him sort of doing that side of it. He's obviously got the assassin side down. Even people like John Hamm. I mean, John Hamm plays, again, in Mad Men, a guy that's very much struggling with sort of his past and almost two identities. But yeah, none of them are as good as
Yeah, I think you
Gandolfini.
need someone who's physically imposing as well. That's the thing. Don't you? You need to look at them and go like, "Oh shit."
Well,
he's
John Hamm's a
badass."
tall guy.
Tall guy, but he's not big. You know what I mean? He's not. Yeah.
No,
But okay, yeah. I mean, I think Gandolfini I'd struggle to recast because
he
he was just
was
so
incredible.
damn good.
Incredible.
You got anyone else?
Oh, I've done a lot.
Oh, okay.
All the ones we mentioned. So Simmons,
Oh, really? Okay. Well, yeah.
Ted, Never Fear, Teddy's here. Richard Jenkins. Richard Jenkins is the gym owner in Burn After Reading, or the gym manager.
Fucking hell, mate. I haven't seen that film.
You recognise Richard Jenkins when you
Okay.
you bring him up. He was also in The Rum Diary. Have you seen that? But,
I've not. I'm not coming across well.
whilst you Google,
Oh, him. I know him.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
he could do that. The other one that sprung to mind, which I think would be quite good at it, William H. Macy.
The one you hate irrationally.
Yeah, but he'd be annoying me in all the right ways. He'd be, you're just fucking useless, Ted. Like, what are you doing here? Like, just doing your portion for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I think I prefer.
For Jenkins.
Jenkins, yeah. I can see
Fair
that.
enough. Now, Naaman.
Yep.
A serious answer. Kevin Spacey, again, snivelling sort of pencil pushing,
Yep.
devious kind of boss.
You wouldn't want a name for that character there, I don't think, would you? You wouldn't want
No. Well, the right answer is
Okay.
Charles Martin Smith. Because Charles Martin Smith looks exactly the same as Bob Balaban does in this role, and in fact is confused with, that's the guy with the money out of The Untouchables. No, it's not. That is Charles Martin Smith. This is Bob Balaban. So yeah, he could do it.
Charles Martin Smith. I mean, I've had to Google all these. Oh, right, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault you don't know any actors. If you bring up Charles Martin Smith in The Untouchables, you'll go, well, hang on, is that not
that
the
Bob?
same guy? So yeah. And then my last one, Paul Hackman as Margulies,
Yep.
James Caan.
Okay. Yeah. That would work nicely. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just wheeling him in for the end, and you're going, oh yeah, he's the badass they're all scared of. But
Yeah.
here he is with a bit of soul about him. Because I think the implication is he's going straight at the end. isn't
Yes.
he?
Yeah. He's a changed man doing the right things,
Yeah.
using his power for forces of good.
Absolutely. There we go.
Do you want to play a game, Carl?
Oh, we're playing the game now. Go on.
Yeah.
Mexican or MexiCANT?
Yeah, because it's somewhat related to cast in a way. Not really, but fuck it. So the game is Mexican or MexiCANT or can't.
Can't, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's a Mexican. Can't.
Well, it's because in the film it's you a Mexican or a MexiCANT.
Yeah.
So it works
say
in
it.
American accent, doesn't it?
So, Mexican, you name the Mexican actors from the following. Oh shit! You know what I've forgotten to do?
Have you found out the answers?
No, I forgot to write the descriptions. I've just written down their names.
It is Once Upon a Time in Mexico, by the way. Danny Trejo. Mexican or MexiCANT.
Okay, cool.
Right, is this going to derail the game? Do we need to bring it back
somewhat.
online in a minute?
Yeah. So we can do a mini version of it, and then we can do the proper one. Okay. So this is a little warm up for you.
All right.
Okay,
go
you
on.
ready?
Yeah.
So I knew I'd forgotten to do something. So Mexican, you name the three main colours on the Mexico flag from left to right.
Right. Green,
Left
white,
to right.
red. Is that wrong? Is it red, white, green?
Don't you tell me?
Well, I mean, I could just cheat because isn't it on the...
Well, don't cheat.
No, I honestly can't remember now. I've second guessed myself.
Yeah, well, no,
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going red, white, green.
Oh, you were right first time.
Oh,
Green,
you
white,
cunt.
red. You MexiCANT.
It was you raise your fucking eyebrows at me. I was
know.
like, oh, you bastard.
Okay, MexiCAN, you name the bird that appears on that flag.
It's an eagle.
Is any type of eagle?
Well, I guess it's a bald eagle. Golden eagle.
There we go, golden eagle, yeah. And MexiCAN, you hum the national anthem?
No, I don't think I know that.
No. I tried listening to it. I was like, nah, I don't know either. You MexiCANT. All right, we'll come back to the second round of MexiCAN or MexiCANT.
You're still sticking with the English accent then, yeah?
Yep. MexiCAN or MexiCANT? After the break, when I've actually finished the fucking game like a moron. All right, seamlessly move on to the production. So this is directed by Gore Verbinski. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with Gore?
Only from Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, I know he has done like Mouse Hunt, which I've seen.
Yes.
But like, I've never attached his name to that.
No.
When I saw this came up, I was like, oh, that's the guy that did Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. And not just one of them, right?
Well, yeah, another fantastic looking film, by the way. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean, indeed, yeah.
But he had a beer and a half. Although, you know, those movies do disappear slightly up their own arse as they go on. But,
Yeah, they do get progressively worse.
But the first one's a lot of fun, I think.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, agreed. But yeah, he's also done The Ring.
Yeah, not seen that.
No, so
Very popular though, isn't it?
Yeah. So this was. I saw also a video of some awesome. You know, when you go to like Comic-Con, you have cosplay.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And the Ring cosplay. So this was someone who essentially came in a TV cabinet and climbed out of the TV. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
How do people find the time?
Yeah.
Literally no other things in their life, are they?
Virgins, aren't they?
Yeah,
Well, they are, though, aren't they?
Sure.
Yeah.
So The Ring, it did, which I remember watching. I think I saw that at cinema. And I've got in my head that, like, was that like one of the moments that sort of shifted horror in this country or in the West away from slashery type things? And I would know this if I had any knowledge of horror. So someone who actually knows what they're talking about might actually be able to comment on that. But both of us not being big horror fans, but I just feel like that and the Blair Witch Project in my head feel like they're around the same time.
The slashers carried on alive and well. I had an ex-girlfriend that was into the slashers.
Yeah.
Like your Wrong Turns and that sort of thing. But this is where the knowledge comes in. Did any of those permeate the sort of the zeitgeist in the same way? I don't know. So they're definitely still getting made. Were they as popular? I don't know, mate.
Fair enough. Do you know what else Gore Verbinski did?
He produced a lot of music videos. Are you going to reference one of those?
No, the Budweiser Frogs advert.
Oh, I did know that. Yeah, I saw that on his filmography.
Yes.
Yeah, it was quite funny. Yeah.
Wise.
Good advert.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, the Budweiser adverts of their time were fantastic.
It's a skill, that, isn't it, to be able to make something that really just nails it, like you say, of the time and becomes so popular. Right?
You can basically age someone by just going up to them and going, "What's up?" And if they do it back to you, you can pretty much put them in a 5-year age bracket.
You're not old, yeah.
But yeah, I've got notes on Gore Verbinski. Like, yeah, a lot of this looked all right. It looked good.
I thought it was a really good-looking film. I mean, it is. I know it's 2001, but it is very sort of late 90s.
It's got a 90s feel to it, for sure.
Vibe to it.
Agreed.
I thought that they did some nice stuff, not just in the modern bit, but with the flashback sort of thing to the legend pieces as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit piss-takey, right? I mean,
it's completely on the nose.
Yeah.
Like so, piss-takey. I'm not sure. I know what you're saying. I feel like what this is a film being secure enough to go. Well, I know the vibe I'm going for,
which is
we're gonna go.
How would you describe said vibe?
Very, very deliberate. Like everything they're doing is very, very deliberate. What they're not doing is they're not going, oh, might people take this the wrong way?
Yeah.
Might this be a bit hammy? Might this be a bit piss-takey? They're just going, no, we're just going for what we want. We've got, and it reminded me a lot of Tarantino. I've got to say.
Oh, interesting.
And I think with the soundtrack as well, because the soundtrack again is very, very on the nose. But it's secure enough to just be like, yeah, but it's good, it's cool, just enjoy it. It's not like we're not lampooning anything here, you know.
Yeah. So I described it in the intro as offbeat, where it's kind of, it knows it's a little bit untraditional. It's trying to, but it's leaning into that part of it. It's trying to do quite a lot in its
pretty ambitious
styles, right? And I think at some points it really pulls it off successfully, and I think at others it feels to me like it was a little bit clashy or jumping from one thing to the other. You mentioned the music. One thing that I did write down in my notes is they've used the Overcooked 2 music. You familiar with the game Overcooked?
No.
No? You're not familiar with Overcooked?
No.
Okay. The premise of the game is you are rushing around a kitchen.
It's the chef thing.
Yeah. But they've got this like... I can't really describe it, but it's literally exactly the same as lots of scenes in this movie. So I was just like, wait, is it basically like stock music of like Mexican-y, Western-y thing that Overcooked have taken, or have Overcooked just taken it from that film?
From the Mexican. That seems less likely.
Yeah, I don't know. But I was just, both me and Emma just went, it's Overcooked.
Yeah.
It's bang on.
I really enjoyed the soundtrack. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
And effective in the way they would sort of like bring it in close for those scenes where they start talking about the legend and everything, and the mood changes. And again, I can see how you can be cynical about it and be like, "Oh, that's a bit on the nose," sort of thing. But I kind of think.
No, I think it was going. It seemed to be going for its the style. It was leaning into that. It was, as I say, intentional.
It did that thing that Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul do. Better Call Saul maybe more. Where, you know, when they sometimes cut to another scene and they're changing landscape, in those shows, they'll have like a little 30-second thing where there's some music playing and maybe you see like sights and sounds of a place, like people dancing in the street, as if to go, oh, we're in here now. We're in New Mexico now. We're doing this sort of thing. And they did that here as well, where it's a bit of an indulgence, right? I mean, Better Call Saul especially is quite a self-indulgent show, in that it's very much leaning into its own sort of style. It's got this captive audience at this point. Yeah, the aesthetic, right? Great show, by the way.
Yeah. I'm watching it in progress.
Are you just
few
first
seasons,
time through?
3 seasons in? Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. Ooh, I'm jealous. Yeah, no, love Better Call Saul. But they did that thing here as well, where you will. Oh, we're going to Mexico now. So there's like a little. He goes to the bar, and there's the fiesta comes through the town.
Yeah.
And there's a little session where we're going to get some music and we're going to get some dancing people and all the rest of it. And they kept doing that, and I again really enjoyed it. It was very much a film that just goes, we absolutely know the aesthetic and vibe we're going to. We're going to commit wholeheartedly to it, and it's going to be cool. There you go. Have at it. Yeah.
So you mentioned Tarantino.
Yeah.
You know the vibe that I got from
You're going
this?
to say Coen Brothers?
No.
Okay. Because that's a note that came up a lot, and I don't entirely agree on that, but let's park that.
I've not read this anywhere else, so I could be way off.
Okay.
Which is why I get excited when I think things that I haven't read or seen other people do, because they're like, oh, I could be on something here, or I'm just so far off that it's going to be funny and you can take the piss out of me. So, watching this...
Put it out there so I can hold it against
and
you.
And I was going to hold this off to the plot, but because I think there's aspects of production here. Am I alone in thinking that this is a little bit like an American version of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels in terms of its different plots ongoing, all kind of relating to the same thing? It's quite zany and there's weird things happen to characters. It's kind of, the characters are a little bit off-center and a bit zany. You've got quite big characters that are kind of supporting and coming in. I mean, this has females in it, so it's, it's a kind of missed the point of that one. But I kind of thought like they've kind of, and I was thinking when that was, because it was like Lock, Stock was like 98, wasn't it? And Snatch was 2000. 2 or something like that? 2000? Something like that.
2000.
And I was like, oh, have they gone for, oh, you know what, this might work. That I'm not saying they've copied the thing, but it's almost like the same sort of energy and thing of that, but with an American twist on it.
Well, it's an interesting observation. Yeah, maybe.
All the nonsense over the essentially guns as well, you know.
Yeah,
similar in the plot. That's why I was keeping it as a plot because there was some plot things, but I think just generally
let me
in
talk
its
about the Coen
style.
Brothers then, because I saw a few people saying it reminded me a bit Coen Brothers because there's a lot of sort of yammering back and forth with the dialogue. I know where people are coming from when they say that. But I don't agree. I thought it felt a bit more natural than that.
Yeah.
Coen Brothers always feels very, very contrived and deliberate in those exchanges, which is fine. You know, like they're going for a certain thing, and sometimes it works very well. But I thought yes, there was the yammering, there was the chatter, but I thought it felt a lot more natural than that. Now, I was going to say, actually, in the style of we've mentioned about the Before trilogy, right, that sort of thing. Obviously, we're in. I don't want to suggest that the romance in this film it's got anything on the romance in the Before trilogy, obviously. But you know, that sort of natural thing. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's actually more akin to that sort of yapping back and forth in the Lock, Stock type things. That sort of vibe. Maybe Off Centre is quite a nice way to describe the characters.
Yeah, because
I don't know what you're getting at there.
All the characters in Lock, Stock have a particular strangeness to them, right? They're very
It's quirky,
very particular and quirky, yeah. Which I was going to save this to plot, but fuck it. Recasting, you know, I said I had two options for this. So I'm recasting this as a Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
All right, so say this was the American Lock, Stock. Guy Ritchie came in, he goes, yeah, I've done two British ones, got Brad Pitt again, going to come back, I'm going to do it slightly differently.
Obviously, this is still when he's making interesting films rather than shit.
Well, yeah, I
in the
guess
bed
this would
with
be the year
Hollywood
after Snatcher, I think. So,
okay.
so he's well in his zone before he goes full Madonna.
Yeah.
Are
we blaming the woman, are we? Yeah?
I meant more this the movie that followed up the whatever it's called.
Comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, she's fucking mental, isn't she?
So, as mentioned, he doesn't really do women in movies.
No.
So, Julia Roberts, I've recast as Jason Statham.
I can't wait for the Leroy Winston relationship.
Yeah, well, I think it still works.
Yeah.
So Jason Statham, he doesn't really do the women. So I think Jason Statham. So you have the couple is essentially a male duo that are very much together, but they get separated. So obviously Brad Pitt,
that fucking pistol, Tommy.
Yeah. So obviously Brad Pitt has to be Stephen Graham.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
So you got Jason Statham as Stephen Graham. So Jason Statham is weird.
They're a Lancashire pistol.
But you know who I'd cast Gandolfini as?
What's his name out of EastEnders?
Frank Butcher.
Yeah.
No,
not him.
Gandolfini. I think he'd be amazing just as James Gandolfini. Just have him the same. You've got Statham and Gandolfini, and Gandolfini's just absolutely schooling him, outdoing him, but then they have this connection, and Statham's like, "Are you gay?"
It'd be better if you'd done Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones, yeah.
As the hitman.
So yeah, that's
you had a moment there, Vin.
what was that?
What's a fucking moment? What do you mean? Him over there at the bar.
Are you gay?
Yeah.
Or you mean like happy?
Yeah.
So I think it could work.
Yeah, no, I'd watch it.
Yeah. But anyway, back to production. I haven't really got much else, actually. To be fair, script-wise, right? So you said there was some... You felt like the dialogue and the back and forth is a bit more natural. I think that's probably fair because basically what I've written is that there's not that many. There's a few decent lines that are memorable, but really it's not really
chatter,
full of...
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's chatter.
The bit that I didn't really like, though, I didn't really like the Pitt and Roberts interaction fighty bits. Some of them were good, like the bits in the car were very well done.
Yeah.
I didn't like really a bit at the start, and some of the bits were on the phone. It got a bit like, meh. But I thought the bit in the car where I will crash this car, and doing it that way, the script there and felt very authentic with Gandolfini sat in the middle, just kind of going,
Yeah,
like,
just trying to play peacemaker, like, yeah.
So I did like that bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair enough. I mean, at that point, though, Brad Pitt's, he's gone through a bit of an arc at that point, right? Because he's at the end of his tether. He's gone through all sorts of shit, whereas at the start, he's still just trying to be guy who's just trying to get out of this. He thinks it's his last job.
Go through the steps necessary to get out.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, come on, you don't understand. This is serious. By the time he's at that point, things are a lot more serious because he's like, they're trying to fucking set me up. I'm going to get killed here. I was always going to get killed. And obviously, he's gone through a lot. But you are correct still. Those scenes do hit a bit harder than some of the ones at the start. What do you think about the decision to keep them separate?
Well, considering I didn't really like them together, I quite liked that decision because. But I think that it's quite smart from a I guess a setup point of view, right?
So.
Because you sell it as this Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts movie, and you have them at the start, and then they are on two separate planes, so they're not battling each other for supremacy in that way, and it does allow that whole storyline, which is the one I most like, which is the Julia Roberts and the James Gandolfini side
well, this
of it.
is the thing. So it works better for the romance, right? Because they're separate. Because they each get to go on their own journeys, like you say, without butting heads against each other. They each get to go on their own journeys. And, we'll come to this when we do the data. I'm not going to say it's the jerkiest of tears. But it still is a very nice touching moment when they eventually come back together and all the rest of it. And I think that hits a lot harder because they've kept them separate and they've gone through all this growth. Probably wouldn't if they've shared all this screen time and they've been interacting with each other all the time. Would it get this samey? Don't know. I really admired it as a decision. I thought, like I said at the start, it's different. It's a interesting way to do a rom-com. I know it's not a rom-com, but that sort of vehicle.
And it was initially written as not to be a star.
Yeah, it's going to be an independent film, wasn't it?
Yeah. So actually, it's more credit to them that when they got the names, they didn't go, well, fuck, we need to change this. We can't have our two stars not together for the whole movie. That doesn't make any sense. We're paying them, well, actually not paying them as much as you would expect. It's got them on a bit of a discount somehow.
It's not the biggest of things, is it?
But yeah, it's definitely a decision that
for sure.
Worth it.
Yeah. I think they were just talking about the production in general. I think there are actually quite a lot of nice and good shots. They get some really nice desert shots. They really capture some of the driving through the towns and the rundown villages and what have you. You know, the seedy dark bars. It's not quite up there with that bar in Bolivia. Where Felix and James drink in, that I'd absolutely love to go drinking. But nevertheless, I was like,
but I like the streets,
the
streets part
streets
of that, and the with the
all
stuff
very
going
good.
through it, and
Yeah.
it felt fairly. I was going to say it felt authentic. I've no fucking idea, but it felt like it.
It kind of gives me the feeling of like it's that thing again, isn't it? You know, when films make you feel nostalgic for a time you've
Never experienced.
But it's that same sort of thing where you go, I don't know if that's real, but I really want to go to that place.
Yeah.
And it would never work as a holiday destination. Because how are we getting there? What are you going to do? Fly into Cancun and then drive 3,000 miles? Like,
where's the nearest city? I'll go the opposite direction.
Some backwater town where you turn up and they go, hey, gringo.
Yeah, give me a car. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. But it has that thing where you just go, oh, that's cool. I'd love to go there. I quite like some of the setups as well in terms of like I'm thinking of the way they did, because this isn't a film that's big on set pieces.
No.
But the way they did some of the pivotal moments. There's the obvious one at the end when Gandolfini's Leroy's going to shoot Jerry.
Yeah.
And Jerry obviously gets the upper hand because he sees the reflection.
But they don't reveal that until Gandolfini sees the reflection, right?
Well, they don't, but you can spot it as a viewer.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, because you know that you see the tyre hub and you see a reflection in the tyre hub.
Oh, see, I thought we only saw that.
So the camera doesn't pan into it in the same way. But you see a reflection in the tyre hub as he bends down, and you see the expression on Jerry's face change as the gun's coming out behind him. It's a very knowing glance from Jerry. But it's well done though, right? Because it's not.
I preferred it when it was like you don't know that he's seen the.
No, but that's the nice thing because it's not spoon feeding you it. Yeah. Right? It's there if you sort of spot it. And look, I'm like third viewing at this point, so I already knew that was the case. Maybe I'm only feeling that because I've seen it before, right? But then you get the thing where Gandolfini goes like, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, fuck it, I'll help you." Probably going to kill him later or whatever, but he's going, I'm still, I'm decent, I'm round, I'm going to help you out. All right, we need to do this, I'll help you. And at that point he goes, oh, I fucked up. because
he can see the
he can then see it. And then they don't show it either. And they show a lot of the killings, but they don't show it. Instead they go to, no, what we'll do is we'll show him whipping round and we'll show a gunshot.
And show her reaction.
And actually we cut to her reaction and her running towards it. I think that's a really nice way to do that scene, a really smart way to go, oh, yeah. And it makes her reaction land a bit more as well, because she's
attached.
She's panicking either way, right? She's just like, oh, no, one of them's killed the other one sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we don't know who it is until she runs around there.
Yeah, it was quite nicely done.
It's really good. I think there's a lot of that in this film. I think it is... if we're going to say there are problems, I do think it does lie in plot. I think it's a really well-produced film.
There we go. Do you want to play the second / first round of MexiCAN?
Yeah.
Or MexiCANT?
Let's go for it.
All right. So, MexiCAN, you name these Mexicans from the world of film from these descriptions. I think you MexiCAN, or should, get at least 4 out of 5.
It would have been absolutely fine for you to just say you can get all 5 there. And then you MexiCAN get all 5.
You MexiCAN get all 5 there.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, number 1. Born in 1944 and star of Machete.
I've not seen it. Which is a problem for this game, I would say.
You've quoted him already today.
Oh, Danny Trejo?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then we'll have to go MexiCAN, won't we?
No, it's MexiCAN, you name him, so Danny Trejo, yeah.
Oh,
Good.
I see.
You've got it, well done. Interestingly, not Mexican. Born in America, born in California.
Yeah, but he's like, what is he, second or third generation?
Yeah, I imagine so.
He what he does now is he runs a Mexican restaurant. He runs a taco place.
I would go there.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Oh, somewhere in America.
Oh, thanks. That really narrowed it down for me.
Well, we'll check if it's Philadelphia later.
Unlikely. Okay. Actress, born in 1966, stars in Frida and Desperado.
All right, that's Salma.
Yeah. You remember her surname?
Yeah, Hayek.
There we go. Then you MexiCAN name it.
Oh yeah, of course, that's what I do. Yeah, they're all Mexican.
Yeah, they're all Mexican. Yeah,
right,
there we go. Yeah. Okay.
Because I thought you were going to... Is this the other one, Penelope Cruz? And she's not Mexican, she's Spanish.
No, anyway, we've been over this.
Yeah. They're all Mexicans, right?
They're all Mexicans.
I've got it now.
You just need to name them. Pan's Labyrinth director, winner of the 2018 Oscar.
Is that Guillermo?
It is.
And then I think it then must be Del Toro, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well done. Director who directed the third Harry Potter movie and Gravity.
Ah, shit.
Give you a chance with that one because you wouldn't know the third Harry Potter movie.
No, I would not know the third Harry Potter movie. Gravity, not.
I'll throw in a Children of Men as well.
It's just... It doesn't... I'm out of...
I'm out of Mexicans.
I've spent Guillermo. I'm out of fucking Mexican film directors
You could go for a very Spanish first name and you'd
Roberto.
Oh, no, not quite.
No. Oh, shit.
So you
Jose.
I'm going to say you MexiCANT. You MexiCANT.
Juan.
Alfonso
Alfonso. Oh, no, I still don't know.
Cuarón.
No.
Alfonso Cuarón.
I got that. No.
Okay, fine. All right, and last one. Director of The Revenant and Birdman.
Another director, for fuck's sake.
This one's right up your alley because you can overpronounce the shit out of it. And by overpronounce, I obviously mean pronounce correctly.
Well, let's not give me that pressure. I make no claims to being able to pronounce things correctly. I mean, sometimes. But no. I just don't know it. And again, the same problem as before. I've ran out of
So it's the
Mexican
directors you fell over on here. So
Yeah.
you MexiCANT name this one. So it's Alejandro González Iñárritu.
Yeah, I would never have got that. No, just...
And I've probably not pronounced that right either way.
Yeah.
But hey, well, there you go. So you MexiCANT
3 out of 5.
can name 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right. I never asked you what you thought about last night.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I've not even watched the highlights of it yet, and I didn't. Watch
you didn't watch it live?
No, because I was doing a football club committee meeting at the time. I just got the alerts on my phone, and then messages from people going like, "You were taking a miss out of the Leeds goalkeeper, Jesus."
Yeah, he had an absolute and then we got treated to some prime farkable. Where we're like,
2-0 up.
we're 2-0 up, Daniel.
Settle in.
Just finishing him off. Oh, no, what, we're going to make a game? Oh, of course, we're going to make a game of it. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's swiftly move on to the plot. One thing that amazed me was, and this is the one point where I went, oh yeah, that was this movie. You know, I've always wondered about when you shoot guns in the air, what happens when the bullets come back down.
And it does happen.
Yeah. But you never see.
Yeah, it's a trope, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't.
So I did really like that.
You can do it without consequence in movies.
That was the first part where I went, that's a bit lock stock. Or that's a bit, someone dying in a really unintentional, kind of funny way, pissing themselves.
Yeah, absurd sort of.
Yeah, absurd, yeah. And I was like, oh, that feels right on brand with the old lock stock. I'm going to keep coming back to lock stock.
Yeah, I can come round to it, to be honest with you.
But yeah, I thought that was actually really cleverly done. I mean, it took him way too long to realise that he was dead. But he's an
idiot.
We've
been over this. Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. I did warm a little bit as it was going through with the whole offbeat style, bit of wacky tone that it was having, and I think it hit it more often than it missed with it. It did have, because we were talking about the different strands and the plotting and things that are coming together. You've obviously got the two distinct storylines ongoing that are somewhat interlinked and sort of overlap and then go away again and then come back again. So there's a few things going on, right? So we've got the kind of buddy comedy, almost, but then the odd couple as well with the Gandolfini and Roberts. You've got, I don't know how you describe the Brad Pitt one, part of it as a storyline. He's just kind of,
well, let's say he's an idiot. He's a patsy that's been sent for. To take the blame for basically a mob takeover, isn't it? That's what's trying to happen.
And I think the thing that was most unexpected was the emotional part of the Gandolfini thing, which genuinely has no place in this film, right? If you were actually writing it, that is a surprising direction that goes in. Yeah.
So obviously there needs to be that sort of sentiment. In that side of the storyline, because we're trying to get Samantha to come round to.
It's essentially a vehicle for that transformation.
Yeah, to realise what she and Jerry have got. But you're right. There is a whole separate subplot there. Gandolfini has this whole very, very distinct, very powerful arc himself. Yeah. There's a great line. Who's Winston?
Yes.
Just someone that I don't like very much.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's good. It only pays off later, obviously.
Yeah, of course. And she finds out that,
which I had no memory of whatsoever.
It's lovely. Yeah, it's lovely.
Until the kind of twist reveal actually happened, and I went, oh yeah, it kind of rings a bell now.
Yeah, but they didn't have to put that in. All we
No.
needed to know for the main plot is he's not Leroy. He's just an imposter, right? We didn't need for them to lay the groundwork for that to pay off at the end, but they did because they're going, yeah, but he's also got his own arc. It's really, I don't know whether that's because they realised they've got a great actor in Gandolfini and it's like, we should use this, or whether that was part of the plan from the beginning. But I think this film has got to be applauded for those sorts of things because they're going, we have got a rom-com here because we've got these two stars. I keep saying rom-com.
Yeah, but that's what it's broadly characterised. That's what you'd have to broadly characterise it
But
as.
it's like, we've got a romance with these two people. We're going to do that. But we're going to tell this with a proper plot that's got this sort of gangsters, not quite the right word, but this sort of like gang, seedy crime thing. And that there is some proper plot into that as well because he realises he's been double-crossed and then he's sort of, got to manoeuvre his way out of that and all the rest of it. But they still go, yes, but on top of that, we will do justice to Gandolfini's arc.
But they went so much further than what you would expect them to do in this.
But they also did that with the...
I'm not saying this is a negative, by the way.
Yeah.
They went further with this in that I think if you were looking at how you might have expected this to go, you would go, oh, this the guy who's kidnapped her, they start to strike up a bit of a relationship. He softens a little bit to her and stuff, and they have a bit of a moment and stuff. The whole part of him coming out to her and having that moment with the guy whose name I can't remember, the postal worker, yeah. And then the whole emotional hit of then the plot almost getting in the way of that with the being thrown out the window and that side of things.
It's really brutal, that, by the way.
It is brutal, yeah. And that was the part, obviously, I think we talked about. You said, alluding to is it a tearjerker side of things? That I didn't get any of the tearjerkiness with the main couple coming back together at the end. I didn't get an emotional hit from that. The bit that on any depending on how I was feeling would have got me was the Gandolfini.
Yeah, you like big hairy men. That's fine.
Character coming in, but genuinely, it was properly moving, and it wasn't just Gandolfini's reaction.
It's hers as well.
It's hers where she's properly bought into.
She really
this whole thing, and that was the most convincing she was throughout the whole film. I think that was her best bit, where her reaction to that is properly real.
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually quite a surprising, almost shocking part of this, which you wouldn't expect to see.
Look, I'm not saying you like or dislike this, but it does not sound very ambivalent to me. This sounds like you've actually got some reasonably strong opinions on that. We'll leave that there and move on. No, I agree. I really liked the way that it went. We will weave these two threads together, but we will give full weight. We'll give due course to this other arc as well. Maybe they're just doing that so the other stuff lands better, like you've just said. Like we understand her journey a bit more, and all the rest of it. Maybe they're just doing it to show Julie Roberts off because she is excellent in those scenes. They also commit fully to the myth legend side of it as well. We get these 3 segments and that underpins. You arguably don't need a lot of that because that's not sort of. I mean, it is the MacGuffin, the reason they're chasing, but you don't need to keep dipping back into it. But they are definitely trying to keep the sort of the intrigue and the mystery up. They're very much vibing on that. And you can pull this out as a negative as well, by the way, because they are trying to do a lot.
And I think
in this movie,
right? And I think that's where there's a lot of it that is really successful.
Yeah,
but there's some of it's just it doesn't quite come together.
I totally sympathise with that viewpoint as well. But I just really enjoy the fact that they are going after all of these things fully, and I just kind of feel like I mean, obviously, this podcast, we do this, right? We sit down and we pull these things apart, we analyse them. So you're taking, well, I'm not sure that quite works. I just sort of watched this and went, I just really enjoyed that. Because you keep seeing bits and you keep seeing bits that are really well done. And at the end of it, I go, yeah, I really enjoyed that. What I didn't do when I'm watching it, again, maybe a bit more this time, because this is what the format drives you to do. So, does that work though? Would they have been better served by just trimming this a bit and trimming this a bit and trimming this a bit? You know, and that's all valid, because you could do that, and if you did that, you'd sit down there and watch it, and even if you hadn't thought about it, you go, oh, this works better, and that's fine, it's valid. But yeah, I just really enjoyed what they put on screen, because they did really go for everything, and they went all out on everything. And I thought they did a pretty good job. And like you say, they've created their own problems in trying to stitch it all together. But
well, they've been ambitious, I think, in what they're trying to achieve. Like, as I say, they could have made a very by the numbers little thing here.
Well, because there's so many threads, they could have gone that way. They could have also gone, let's ditch the sort of the romance as the main vehicle. We can do a proper thriller here. Or let's ditch the comedy bit of it. Like, we can do a proper thriller here, right? Yeah, it's right. It's very sort of interesting from a sort of filmmaking perspective. Yeah. But generally, I just very much enjoyed all the little bits and just picking up the bits I liked and what have you, and yeah, it's all good.
The one other thing I just wanted to call out was the sort of not final scene, but the sort of face-off scene where Julia Roberts' character is in the trunk, and what's his face, the big bad guy,
Naaman
is there, and then she comes out with the
it is Naaman, not Margulies,
yeah. And she comes out with the Mexican gun, and there's the bit where she shoots it, and obviously having had all of those flashbacks of the misfiring and what's happening with it, there's like a little bit of drama as to whether she's going to shoot herself in the face here. Who knows what's going to happen? And I did actually quite enjoy the moment where they go, she fires it, and everyone just kind of looks around, going like,
what's happened?
And then he's wearing this turtleneck.
Yeah.
And it's just a little roll down of a turtleneck to show it going through his throat. And it's like best use of a turtleneck I think I've ever seen in film in terms of using it as a reveal.
No, it's good.
So I thought it was quite clever.
Yeah, it's good. I liked like that. I think a lot of those scenes are well put together in that same sort of fashion, actually. My last note on plot is Brad Pitt. Just a note on him to say I thought he was very believable at the end, which is maybe where I couldn't have seen sort of Tom Cruise. Very believable at the end when do you reach that point when it's not worth it? And he just never reached that point. I was like, you believe that idiot, don't you? Yeah.
You do kind of throughout, I think, and this kind of fits into plot. Did you find yourself on his side? If you were picking sides between, like, you're meant to be on his side.
She's completely unreasonable.
Yeah, she's being unreasonable. He is like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, just say no and get killed. Like,
of course she does, and that's the journey that she goes on with.
And she has the journey, right? Yeah. He doesn't really have much of a journey. He's kind of devoted to her and besotted with her from the.
His arc is the task, isn't it? And realising he's been double crossed.
Yeah, she's got the emotional arc.
Absolutely.
He's just got the plotty one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We agree.
See, we're talking about all these levels about this film that you're ambivalent about. Yeah.
All right, we move on to any changes. So a section where each of us comes up with maximum of 3 changes. How many changes do you have, Carl?
2.
I've got 3, but I'll be honest, they're pretty weak. So I'll go first. So I said this at the start that I think this could be just as effective and maybe possibly a bit more effective if you had not the A-listers attached to it necessarily. So you could do it with just the next rung down. But I'm not tied to that anymore. It's quite so much as I've been talking about it because, I don't know.
They're bringing it, man. They're bringing it.
Yeah, I think Pitt does his Pitt thing, is pity it. Oh, there's something there. I just didn't quite get it.
There is. It's close, that, isn't it?
Pity it. Yeah, it's not
Stupid.
quite there.
Stupid. Brad Stupid.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do. Thing. But yeah, what's your first one?
It's too long, which is my weakest one because I don't know what I would cut out because I liked all the things that they were putting out there and I enjoyed them all.
Just over 2 hours.
Yeah. And maybe it's like a feel thing. I don't know. But again, I sort of... I don't know what I'd chop out. I sort of enjoyed all the bits they're putting on. So
yeah, I would say they're fitting in a lot. There's no necessarily flabby bits that I can think of immediately. Be like, well, that was a unnecessary diversion that you can just cut that straight out. And there was no repetitive bits that I can think of.
No, actually, maybe it's more of a because they are. You mentioned at the start they're flitting all over the place a bit. Maybe it is just more of a direction thing, a reorder. I don't know, but like I say, it's my weakest one.
Okay. Well, my second one is even more Gandolfini. Give me more. More. I want more Gandolfini. Give me him earlier. Give me him longer. Give me him harder.
Yeah.
Wait. Whatever. I want more Gandolfini.
You wouldn't want him earlier, would you?
No, that's true. Yeah. Just longer and harder.
Yeah, longer and harder, and then later.
Yeah. And then again. Wait, no.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. I'll tell you what. If you're going again, as early as you like, Jimmy. Yeah.
But equally.
The thing is, though, equally, a really good film knows when to leave you.
True.
Wanting more, doesn't it?
True.
But yeah, it's fair enough.
He's great. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
He's really great. My second one is it just needs a bit more humour. So I did find it very pleasant throughout, but we mentioned in Brewed, we talked about this with In Bruges last week. Now, I tired a lot of the In Bruges humour. I think I probably don't find it as funny as most, but I did laugh out loud at a couple of bits in that movie because there's some really well crafted jokes. I'm thinking of like when they do the groundwork and then almost pull the rug away because he's not really dark. We flip from dark to irreverence very, very quickly. It might be something shocking like when he hits the woman in the face because she's got a bottle. And again, they've done that groundwork to go. If someone comes up, if someone comes up, so the bits I really thought were very funny and in Bruges, they crafted very well, and that's kind of not here. Yeah,
there's a lot more lighter humour, chuckly moments than the laugh out louds for sure. There are moments in this that I found funny, but they didn't have, as you say, that bigger payoff from a setup, or there wasn't quite the zingy dialogue and lines that maybe would give you that laugh out loud bit. So the part with trying to get the Mexican guys in the truck to give him a lift and stuff, and just that whole language barrier part was a little bit funny. The bits with where he's going to go shoot the guy who'd stolen from him, and they have that whole back and forth, and it's the American way. That was quite good, and I think that tertiary character had a couple of good lines there, and then the cop as well, where they have a bit of back and forth there. I think that is funny, but there was maybe more opportunity for interactions with the tertiary characters that brought some humour along the way in a kind of natural way, and that's what I think In Bruges did really well.
But you've mentioned dialogue there, like lines. I don't think it is a lines thing. The lines bit in Bruges was the bit I tired of.
Yeah,
I liked the way they crafted and set up and did those callbacks and whatever.
I quite like a zingy back and forth though. So.
No, I get it. But for me, the really funny bits in Bruges were those crafted things, and they're just not in this. Whether that's a European thing versus an American thing, I don't know.
Fucking Americans.
If I wanted some more humour in a film, and I think this could have benefited from it, that's the direction I'd want to see it go.
Cool. And my third and final one is just make it a Guy Ritchie movie. Come on.
I'd watch it, mate. Yep, I'd watch it.
El MexiCANT.
El MexiCANT, yeah.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
Okay, so this is Why You're Wrong, the section where we each do our closing statements. So, Carl, over to you.
I haven't had to resort to attacking your character today, really, which I think tells a story. Yeah, look, there are some valid criticisms of this film. We're not talking about a masterpiece here. Of course we're not. That was weird, wasn't it? Masterpiece.
What the fuck?
Say masterpiece.
What happened there? I'm rubbing off on you.
Jesus Christ.
Not just physically.
Oh, he means he's touching my dick. Yeah, you know, we're not talking about that. And I don't think we should be looking at every film, and especially a film such as this, through that lens anyway, right?
No.
It's ambitious. There are some good to great acting performances. It looks, I think, really great. And it's just one of those films where I think, like, I'm glad it's different. That's interesting. And it's a pretty pleasant watch. So I like it.
Good stuff. So, I mean, I started off this already moving because I said I first watched it when somehow I was 16. That was a thing at some point. But on rewatch, it's difficult because you go in thinking you dislike a film, right? But when because that's what I thought I did dislike it. Watching it and thinking about it after, I struggled, as you've heard, to come up with actual things that I didn't like so much.
Listen, mate, it happens to the best of us.
There's definite bits, there's definite problems and issues, and as you say, it's not a masterpiece of a film.
And I do say that as well.
Yeah.
Not masterpiece. No. Apparently, I say masterpiece.
And I think just the fact that I've struggled to come up with any real massive issues with it, and I've definitely come up with more positives.
Oh yeah, you found plenty of stuff to enjoy.
I think its baseline is fine, and then it's elevated at points by Gandolfini, the interaction with Gandolfini and with Julia Roberts, and then Brad Pitt doing his Brad Pittiot.
Oh, stupid.
Brad Pitt. Shit, I forgot it already.
Pittiot or stupid. Yeah.
Stupid.
Brad Stupid.
Thing effectively. I think they've tried lots of different things. I think it needs to get credit. I think it should get credit for doing not just a by the numbers thing.
Yeah, we're not buying the numbers.
It's definitely not by the numbers. I think they almost are too ambitious, and they probably could scale it back just a touch, and it would be more effective.
Yeah.
But did I enjoy it? I found it a fairly watchable. And talking about some of the good bits with it, it kind of emphasizes the fact that there's probably definitely more good than bad. So from a place of it's probably raised to a bit of like, with,
Yeah.
Actually, the good bits elevate it just slightly above the.
You're dead right, and I'll come on to this in my rewatchability as well. You can think something when you're trying to be critical, and you talk about it, and it's easy to sort of get excited and think about bits you liked, and think, actually, yeah.
It was a lot easier to come up with the bits you liked than actively didn't like in this, for sure.
Yeah. Good, I win.
Alrighty. All right, let's move on to the data section. So, starting off with some of our ratings. So we've got IMDb 6.1. We've got Letterboxd 3.0. So very aligned. Metascore 43. Critics not quite as big a fan. Bit harsh. Carl, where are you on this one?
Yeah, I don't think those scores are unreasonable at all. No. Maybe the Metascore one's a bit low. Now, I'd written down 3/3.5 because I wasn't quite sure where I was sitting. I'll definitely be going 3.5 after talking about it. Yeah, there's plenty to like about this film. I think there's plenty that's good about this film.
I was bang on a 2.5, straight down the middle. Like, it couldn't be more 2.5. I think talking about it, I'm up to the 3. The 3 out of the 6 out of 10, it starts moving towards. Could it get to the 7 and a 3.5 on a further rewatch? Oh, I don't know.
It's a fair rating. It's an Empire recommends.
It's an Empire recommends. I do like that. I need to basically rip up everything and start again with my ratings and see where I get to with that.
Recalibration.
Right, in terms of nominations, you ready?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be none, isn't it?
Yeah, it's none. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, it's obviously nominated for something because every single film in the world is nominated for something.
Nothing major.
No, nothing that you would have ever heard of. But yeah, rewatchability.
Yeah, so like I'd said, meh. But then again, talking about it, I'm like, yeah, I'd go watch it tomorrow.
And I think the only thing that puts me off the rewatchability is the fact that it's over 2 hours.
Yeah, it is. It's just a smidge like
make that an hour 48.
Yeah.
You'd be like, hour 48, yeah. I can fit that in. 2 hours too. Oh, no, not time for that.
So I think I am going to move up to a yes. Not a very yes, but I think I'm going to move up to a yes.
Yeah. I had meh. Would it be a yes? Would it be meh? I'm going to stick with meh because of the length. And I think it would probably be a yes with 12 minutes less.
Length.
Best scene, Carl?
Yeah, so I like the exchange with Jerry and Ted when Jerry is he's onto him or he's first starting to suspect that things are not going well for Jerry, and he's going like, I don't know, I'm just doing my portion, you're just doing your portion, and having this exchange back and forth, and then Jerry ends up going like, you sound like Schultz from Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing, which I like as a reference anyway. I think that's quite funny. But I also thought that kind of summed up Jerry's character because he's dumb, but he's smart enough to realise what's going on, and yet even in that grave situation, he still goes to a joke, and he's acting the fool. So yeah, I thought it was quite a fun scene.
So there's a couple.
I mean, there are better scenes than that.
Yes.
which you're gonna say, and I'm gonna go, oh yeah, it's that. Yeah.
So I liked the. So there's a couple of more serious parts that I actually liked a part of this. So and both with Gandolfini and Roberts, which isn't surprising. Yes. So they're sitting on the steps, and Gandolfini's doing that. When is enough? When is enough enough?
Yeah.
And Roberts comes out with this like absolutely convoluted,
round
the houses, complete gibberish, and he just pauses and he just goes, "Is that it?
Yeah, that's your answer.
That's your answer." Yeah. And then he gives the sort of correct answer, or explains what the answer should be. So I thought that was quite nice. And then the other one was the returning to the hotel, which we've already talked about, finding out his new boyfriend, lover, has been thrown out of the window, and Roberts being convincingly devastated for him.
And I'm 100% going to throw my best scene in the bin because it's either that one where she's just like distraught at the fact he's lost, and he is as well, but he has to get on with it, it's all business. Or it's the one where the gunshot goes and she doesn't know whether it's Jerry or Leroy that's been killed, and actually she's gutted either way anyway. Yeah. I think they're really good scenes.
Yeah. So I think my favourite one is the one I talked about in detail earlier.
It's a great scene.
Best quote. What have you got?
Well, I've got two. I know fuck around, gun, bang, bang, you dead. Do you have a speech impediment?
Yes.
I like that.
I did like that.
But I also really like, it's a rental, I'm an American. No shit.
No shit. Really?
Yeah.
I'm a Mexican.
And I think I'd probably go for that one.
So I've got a few. So that was one of them. You've managed to Forrest Gump your way through this. And you want me to rape you?
Yeah.
Are you gay? You want me to rape you? Are you gay? But the one I like most, and again, it's a Gandolfini one, which is, I'm just here to regulate the funkiness. Which I like that. It feels like that's my job.
Yeah.
I'm just here to regulate the funkiness. It's fine. Favourite character?
Oh, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be
Leroy
Leroy
/
Winston. Yeah. I was initially leaning towards the dog. But I have to go for Leroy.
Yeah, even the dog can't keep up with Jimmy Gandolfini.
Indeed. Tearjerker. So we've already talked around this.
Yeah, I mean, I had meh, but I mean, there are a couple of genuinely touching scenes.
Yeah, I had no, because literally it wasn't. But I think it is meh because I think there is potential there. That you catch me at a different day. There could be definitely some
Have I been
leakage.
drinking? Oh yeah. Oh, well, then it's open the taps.
Jerker.
No,
very no.
There's
nothing there at all, is there?
We don't have a lot of this actually, do we?
Pitt shirtless. He was shirtless for like 12 seconds or so, wasn't he?
No, I'm not getting after that. I need more than that.
Okay, fine. All right, we move on to our top three. We went around the houses a little bit with this one, but similar to last week, where we said with a city in the title, I think it was last week.
Yeah.
We've gone for top 3 movies with a nationality in the title. So it's the Mexican. That is a nationality. Right, Carl, have you got any that you want honourable mentions that haven't made your top 3 first?
I feel like African Queen is a bit of a cheat.
I've not seen it. And why is that? Oh, Africa is not a nationality.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like an American.
Yeah.
Name a country. Africa? Yeah, no, it's a continent. I mean, I've already got the fucking colours of the Mexican flag mixed up.
You got them right.
Order,
you just overthunk it.
Yeah, so, that's not very American, is it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, African Queen, I mean, honestly, I've not seen that film in a long time, but I've really fond memories of it. But that doesn't make the 3.
So I'll do some ones that some gaps first of all. So
can I just ask you, is your list just American?
No, I've got a different one.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah, because there is a lot more Americans than anything else that I could, and it's interesting. This one was very much I came with them from my whatever was top of my head that came to mind with them, and then I kind of sense checked it afterwards, and I was like, no, I'm pretty happy with what I came up with there. So there's some gaps that I intend to fill. The first is The English Patient, which I've got to watch it because I do want to do the Will's challenge of watching all the Best Picture winners in your lifetime.
It's all right.
I know, it's so long.
It's only all right.
Yeah, I can't really be asked with it, but it's one of those. I'll get there on the end. I'm just hoping to be. I'm honestly hoping to be ill so I can watch it when I'm ill.
Fabulous looking movie again.
Yeah, I imagine it is. Yeah. An American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, not seen it.
That's one that's on my watch list, so that will get watched soon. The Danish Girl, just from an acting perspective, I think more than I don't know. The film itself doesn't actually sound too appealing, but meant to be some excellent performances in it, so I thought I'd give that one a go. The one that just missed out for me was American Pie.
That didn't even make my short list,
Yeah.
my long list. Sorry.
Okay, what's your number 3, Carl?
All right, so. Nymph Omani, Volume 1.
What, Nymphomania?
Yeah, Nymph Omani, Volume 1. Volume 2 is absolutely
Is that
rock.
Nymphomaniac?
Yeah, Nymphomani, Yeah,
Okay.
Nymphomani, Volume 1.
Is this, they're from Oman?
Yeah, they're Omani. Come
Yeah,
on.
so they're, they're Omani.
Yeah.
Okay, are they all like this?
Well, I mean, the next one is Indian Jones and the Last Crusade.
Indian. Yeah, Indian.
No, I'm joking. I'm not doing that. And I said Nymphomaniac Volume 2 is absolute rock. Fucking so's Volume 1. Number 3 for me is American Beauty.
Oh yeah, that was one. Actually, I should have listed that as just missed out as well for me. That was at the top of my as I was just listing them down. But it's another one of those I've not seen it for so many years that I don't know, need to reassess it with fresh adult eyes with a flying plastic bag and a Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
My number 3, The French Connection.
Yeah.
Good film.
No, I need to rewatch that because I've watched that and I kind of enjoyed it, but also thought it aged quite a lot. And I think I'm probably being a bit harsh there because I don't know whether I watched it late at night or not in the right mood or what.
Yeah.
But, I feel like that's one I could easily rewatch and go, oh no, it's really good.
Number 2, Carl.
Number 2, American Psycho.
Oh, mine too. American Psycho number 2. Yep. I really want to rewatch that again. They're thinking of remaking it. Did you see?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why?
You're not going to better it.
No. I don't get it.
I saw a clip of that today on TikTok.
It's very clippable.
And it's the bit where he's about to kill Greg Halberstram or whatever his name is. And he's talking about Huey Lewis and all the rest. Yeah, people don't understand. And it's just fantastic. Christian Bale is just such a hoot in that movie. It's
just
really,
all of
really
it.
good.
Just from the whole business cards thing, and just as he's like getting up a sweat with the embossed text and things like that. All the way through it. It's just fantastic.
Really well made film as well.
Yeah, I want to rewatch it again because it's been a while.
Yeah, really good.
And number 1.
You haven't given me your number 2 yet.
No, it's American Psycho. It's the same. Yeah.
Sorry. My number 1 is American Made.
Oh, wrote down here. Right. I said, is Carl going to say American Made? We really need to just do this movie as an episode if he does.
Now, I know that this isn't as good a film as American Psycho.
But it's what you like.
But I could go inside now, even though, I really should, after this, think about going to bed, and absolutely pop American Made on and, just enjoy it.
We're going to get this. We'll get this in on the next block, and we're going to explore this in more detail.
Yeah.
And I'll show you why you're wrong.
Yeah, I'll watch that all day, every day. American Made. What's your number 1?
American History X.
Yeah, no, I have seen that, and it is good. I've not seen it in so long.
See, I've seen not like in recent memory. I've seen it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, top to bottom, it is just great.
What was your number 3?
French Connection.
Yeah, because you're French. Fair enough. I was going to say you've gone all American.
Yeah, the ones I said that definitely not. French Dispatch.
Oh God, no. No.
Johnny English.
Oh yeah, look, fun, but no.
Yeah.
Let's not get carried away.
All right, Carl, you got anything else for us?
Nope.
All right, then that's all we've got. So if we move the needle for you, even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It really does boost the self-esteem of the algorithm and get us out there to a larger, less vegan audience. Our Twitter and Instagram is MTN Movie Pod. Our YouTube channel is at Movie the Needle. You can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikTok at movie.the.needle. All details are in the show description, so please do follow and comment wherever you are. So for me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm off to practice my Spanish so our El Podcasto can reach a larger audience. Hola!
Do you have a speech impediment?